Welcome to the inaugural season of Live from Elm Court, a series of recitals given by emerging stars under the auspices of the Frederick R. Koch Foundation, and coming to you from the magnificent Koch estate in Pennsylvania, Elm Court. The season spans the eras from Monteverdi to today, including a premiere, and celebrates the worlds of opera, art song, piano, Broadway, theater, and dance, often featuring works collected in original manuscript form by Mr. Koch and donated to Yale University. Tonight's concert features performers Chris Bannow, Carmen Zilles, Andrew Burnap, Juliana Canfield, performing original theatrical works by Dustin Wills, director and librettist, Kate Tarker, playwright, and Daniel Schlossberg, composer.
Give me a go whenever. Yeah.
We can. I can first.
Well, I was at a party at Dan's house once, and I saw on his bookshelf a copy of Once 5 Years Pass, which is a very obscure, rarely produced Federico Garcia Lorca play. Very surrealist, and we just got to talking about it, and we both loved the story so much, and I had always had a desire to do a translation of it myself and to adapt it into a musical piece, because the piece itself is split up into prose and poetry, so the idea we had was to set all the poetry within the play to music and then to keep the prose as spoken text. And then we were invited to Williamstown Theater Festival for 5 weeks to work on it.
Oh, wow.
One of the reasons I'm specifically very interested in Federico Garcia Lorca is that I think a lot of the scholarship around his works have not included his sexual identity as a gay man or a queer man. And I think, and the struggle I find in all of his plays is about his identity as a queer person and his inability to continue the lineage of his family. So he,
That's right.
in so many ways, was self-hating is such a sort of small kind of way to describe it, but it's the word that's coming to mind right now. But, you know, in essence, like, to not procreate and make a child in, you know, a very traditional southern Spain is to be the murderer of your family line. And so there's this constant back and forth that you see in Bloodwedding, that you see in Yerma. But I think you see it most in Once 5 Years Pass, because it is the only play with a male protagonist.
Yeah, usually he subsumes these ideas into women's bodies, and that's how he expresses them, and that's how people would have received them as, and not kind of, at least the veneer of it being about a gay man would be temporarily, suspended, so that you wouldn't have to know that it's about this, that kind of person. It's about women, but actually it's about.
Well, and even so, I mean, I think there's a safety in sort of him guising himself inside of a woman's body, but also he sort of bifurcates his own personality. He sort of creates this mosaic of himself.
I play the typist, and the typist in the beginning of the play works in the young man's house, and she is in love with him, and he doesn't really, I mean, he knows she exists, but he doesn't see her in that way. So her story is sort of one of unrequited love, and wanting to be with someone who is incapable of being with her.
I play the young man who is on the sort of universal quest for love. However, it is a love that he doesn't realize he is incapable of. What he thinks he wants, what he thinks will give him meaning and happiness, and the ultimate sort of self-realization is actually working very much against him. And so in all of his quests, all the different roads that he takes in order to find that love, he ends up with feeling even less than before. So I think he then determines okay, this is the person who will realize my full self, and it is not what he expects.
I actually have known this play since college. I was obsessed with Lorca for a while. I actually started writing music for this. I back when I was 19 or 20, and it sounded very Spanish. It was like and I wrote pieces, like multiple pieces with text from this, one for choir, one for solo singer. So I was really, and it was amazing to me that Dustin also knew it, and so we wanted to like tackle it.
Distinguished public. No. Not distinguished public, just public only. Which is not to say the writer does not think the public is distinguished. In fact, the opposite. But behind that word lurks a delicate tremor of fear. A sincere plea for the audience to be kind to the actor's performance and the poet's brilliance. The poet does not ask for kindness, but for attention. As it is, the poet has already scaled that barbed fence of fear that writers must scale when writing for the theater. And because of this, which is quite absurd, and because the theater has more or less become simply a business, poetry has practically disappeared from the stage and gone in search of other places where audiences will not be shocked, for instance, when a tree becomes a puff of smoke. Or when 3 small fishes at the wave of a hand become 3 million to feed the crowd. The poet has chosen to express a dramatic concept in the lively rhythm of a young man, one who is like you or like me, searching for a place to play his ace of hearts before the card players come to collect. But the public should not be surprised if he loses his way or appears violent, because he always struggles with the reality around him, or with his dreams and fantasies when they become reality. Oh, it begins! Oh, yes. This is how daylight comes into the cities. People forget the darkened world of dreams and begin to go to the marketplace, and here our young man begins to cross that wide and treacherous river from slumber into the world. And so I will say, good night. Good morning.
Just stop your tears.
My spine, it aches from where those rascals beat me down.
Me too, my heart hurts too.
Oh, why, boy,
I
why?
will not go. You should have seen. They laid me out at the window and crowned me with a wreath of rose.
What noises, boy, came in your ear?
I could hear bubbles and bees in the patio, and the hammerman nailed paper stars upon my coffin in a row. No angel showed, not one tomcat, no.
Don't call me Tomcat. Why so? I'm a lady cat, boy.
Oh, a girl cat?
How could you not know? How so? By my silvery tone.
I see that you're not feeling well.
10 stones those children heaved at me.
10 stones that just as much as thorns wrapped around my skull do sting.
Do you like one? Yes, please.
Whitest rose with spots so waxy, like the eye of a broken moon beneath the glass of fallen deer.
gone. Where are you?
Quiet.
Now is the time for the lizards to come, boy.
No.
Have you found your way out, boy? Boy? Oh! Boy? Boy?
She is gone. She is gone. A hand has carried her below. The hand of God. Please do not bury me. I hope for some minutes while I deflower this flower. I will go, but slow. And after, will you let me see the sun? A little bit of sun. One fleck will do. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes.
No.
I always knew it would be no.
The sea is drinking up my gown, and the moon wears my citrus crown. My ring, sweet man, my ring of Aztec gold, is sunk in the sands of the mirror I hold. Who'll wear my wedding gown? Who'll wear it for me? The river's mouth will wear it to marry the sea.
What is that, you wail?
I wail of a death I never knew, the ache of a vacant veil, the cry of silk and plume, a bodice that freezes in the midnight snow, whose lace will never please like the chasey foam. The fabric unraveling from my form surrenders to the muddy sea, longing for a brace of warm, and transforms into a drowning body.
The wind will wrap it round its shadow, dancing it on in its dim hollow. Satin garters for the reed, silk stockings for the moon. Give the veil to the arachnids, over the doves let them be strewn. So tangled in the beautiful threads, the spiders fill their appetites. Send the garments to their deathbeds, whose shroud of white and puzzling light. For silk and frost are built like houses perched on stilts.
The sea is drinking up my gown.
The moon removes your citrus crown.
I will not let it know. One by one and thread by thread, I'll want the heat of the marriage bed. I cradle in demands for the heat of hands to squeeze this waist. You lie. You are to blame. You should have been my idol, little horse of steel and foam. The wind breaking against your eyes.
sunk in the sands of the mirror you hold.
Where have you been? I've waited here naked, like a sail in the wind, fainting at every breath. Where have you been?
Let me alone, the streets were virgins in the night, of your guitars, and why I was 600 songs. No one will wear your dress of white. No one will wear your dress of white.
I've waited here naked, like a sail in the wind, fainting at every breath.
I'll follow you forever.
Never.
Let me tell you.
I don't want to know.
Look here. Two streams of white milk soak this languished silk. The white pain of bees coats my neck and stings. My son, I want my son. The ribbon around my waist unravels with joy because they imagine the shape of a boy. He is your son.
Yes, my son. We're birds of wild dreams with wild jasmine meet. And if my child should never come, no bird in the sky may sing.
May it die.
And if my child should never come, all ships in the sea let's sing.
Let it be.
The harp of the rain is quiet. The sea turned to stone will riot at the last dying wave on the rock.
Who'll wear my wedding gown? Who'll wear it for me?
The woman who waits on the banks of the sea.
She'll always wait for you, remember. She hid in your home. She loved you and left you. Your son sings alone. He's a child of the snow, and he waits for your blood. So run, look for her quickly, bring her naked and silky, so my silks may ensilk she, each string that enstrings me, and open the rose in the flesh of her belly.
I want to live.
Not wait.
My son sings alone. He's a child of the snow, and he waits for my blood. I must look for her quickly, but where is she now?
In the streets of the city.
Before the red moon washes her curves in the blood of her own eclipse, I'll bring her here, trembling with love, a naked woman of my love.
At the opera, Paris, out by the
in a glass and the sea in a jar.
Wherever I'm called, I'll go.
My life,
With you alone.
I'll take you with me naked, body pure and wrinkled rose, to a place where silkworms tremble in the cold.
Yes, the sun is a kite. No, a falcon of glass. No, the sun is a great tree, and you are the river's shadow.
We'll
But
lie
if
cheek
we
away, no time to waste, let's go, before the yellow nightingales and the trees begin to blow.
Love, leave me on the mount, filled with clouds and dew, so covering the sleeping sky, magnificent and sad. I see you.
Say such things, little girl. Let's go. I can't lose any more time.
Blood pure heat deep, carry me to some other place. I want to live with you.
What is that sound I hear? Far away.
Love. It is the day returning, my love.
shall love you so much.
I will die without you. Where will I go if you leave me? The one I waited for no longer exists for me, but you do, because you love me.
I did love you, and I will love you again.
Love me now.
Why do you say now?
I waited so long I was dying.
I was dying because I was waiting.
And now, here you are. The blood pounds in my temples with its little knuckles of fire. Yes, my son. He runs inside of me like a little ant in a closed box. A little light for my son. Please
written the letter, sir?
What?
It is not your son. Look at me. Look at me. You were waiting, and while you were waiting, you let me go, but still, you always believed I loved you. Do I lie?
No, you don't lie.
I knew it! I knew you could never love me, and yet I raised my love up and I changed you. I've seen you in the corners of my house. I love you, but from far away, I've moved so far away from you that I must look across a great ocean just to recall the trembling of your mouth.
Quiet, you will go with me because you love me, because that is what I need to live.
Yes, I love you, but much more than you could ever love me. Can you not see it? Can you possibly not know? You don't have the kind of eyes to see me naked, or the kind of lips to kiss my never-ending body. You must leave me alone. I love you too much to even look at you.
Not a minute more, come on.
You're hurting me, my love.
So you can feel me.
Can you not wait for me as I have waited for you?
I cannot.
Do you not feel sorry for me?
There's a kind of nest upstairs where you can hear the nightingale sing, even if you can't hear it, even if a bat pounds on the window.
Yes, but...
No, your mouth.
Later.
It's better in the darkness.
I will come.
Without delay.
I want to, but listen.
Now!
But
Give me your answer.
I will come with you.
Love?
I will come with you once 5 years pass.
Oh.
I'm still so far away. Why did you leave me? I was dying from the cold. I had to look for your love where no people go. I'll stay here with you. Let me come closer. Little by little, until I reach you. I'll come back for my wings, but let me come back. I want to die at the break of dawn. I want to die while
I wear a lot of hats, both right now and later on when I perform.
But it's really nice to have the composer and etc. here just because you can kind of go, that note is not great for me, and they change it. Not always. Most of the time they don't. Most of the time we really try hard to do what's written. But it's also really nice to see the thing evolving right as you're working on it. Like, you have a bunch of brand new stuff this week, and it's fascinating to watch them create it, and I just love that. I think it enhances my creativity. I don't know why, but it's like by osmosis or something.
Yeah, I've worked with Dustin and Dan a lot of times on a lot of different pieces, and so I do sort of feel like part of my makeup now is informed by their works and by their music and their thoughts. So when I enter another world of theirs, I already feel like I have some of the tools necessary from prior years of collaboration. So it feels really comfortable to be working with them specifically. And yes, like Carmen was saying, new work is just always happening. I mean, just before this, I was listening to new music that was just printed out and handed to me that I'm going to perform tomorrow. So it keeps you awake and alive. Yeah.
The language is quite different from the Lorca. There's a lot of conscious kind of Americana strewn in, and there's everything from a duet between Mary Todd and Lizzie Keckley to a ballad for Peanut John, who happened to be the stable boy when Booth rode off on a horse from the theater.
Knocked him out.
So he has a ballad. There's a dance of history where, it's a line dance where everyone in the audience comes in and takes 10 steps back and 8 steps forward.
Peanut John, this is the ballad of Peanut John. Who sold out, pushed me aside, galloped away with manly stride. I fell down and hit my head. Cop said, Johnny can't help us along. People say I'm slow. People are mean to me. I say, yo, buy a peanut or three. Buy a peanut or buy a peanut or buy a peanut or three. Hey ho, enjoy the show. Get your peanuts from me. Cop said, could you describe his seed? Story to ask you while you bleed. I said, well, now let me think. Light gray mare, he is pale, forehead flat, flat and small, heavy fetchlock, wavy tail, nostrils small, ears more small, small thin neck, rather arched, mane falls to the left. Anything else? Restless mare, troubled steed, moving at uneasy speed. Have no doubt, shoot the dead, you'll find that man 'cause of me. People say I'm slow. People are mean to me. I say no. Buy a peanut or three. Buy a peanut or buy a peanut or buy a peanut or three. Buy a peanut or buy a peanut or buy a peanut or three. Ponies, horses, ponies, horses, ponies, horses, ponies. Phony ponies, horses, hearses, horse, rehearse, I'm homeless. Peanut John, this is the ballad of Peanut John. Peanut John, this is the ballad of Peanut John. Peanut John, this is the ballad of Peanut John. Peanut John, this is the ballad of Peanut John. Things have gone so much more wrong if we didn't have our Peanut John. Make me a coffin booth, find me a box to live in, dress it up nice, satin and spice. Make me a coffin booth, dig me a plot by Lincoln right on my stone. She's going home if I should wake inside my box. Please go and find some heavy rocks. You killed me once. Do it once more. Don't only stop one of the clocks. Make me a coffin booth, regular size to breathe in. Sing me a song, pass me along. Booth, it's the least you can do. Make me a coffin too.
Your feet are moving, your hips are grooving. No one sees it coming except for those who do. How did we get caught up in the sweet and sticky history? Your hands are twitching, your soul is itching. Yeah, you want to jump in, but you don't want to lose. Let me teach you all the steps to hot and sweaty history.
This is how you do the history. This is how history moves. This is how you do the history. This is how history moves.
Step out and fan out and shake it up. You shake it up. Step out and fan out. Stank it up. You stank it up. Step out and fan out and shake it up. Shake it up. Step out and fan out and stank it up. Stank it up. 2 steps forward. 1 step back. 3 steps forward. 1 step back. 1 step forward. 4 hops back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now circle, now circle, now slide. Now circle, now circle, now slide. 3 steps forward. No steps back. 1 step forward. 8 steps back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 hops forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now circle, now circle, now slide. Now circle, now circle, now slide.
Forward is where you wanna go, but it's not forward all the way. Sometimes when the going's getting good, there's a little market correction. This is how you do the history. This is how history moves. This is how you do the history. This is how history moves.
Your heart is pounding. Your spine is shouting. Cling tight to your neighbor. It's such a mess we're in. How did we get caught up in this bleak and tricky history? The kid is pumping. The club is jumping. What a crazy nation. We're bursting at the seams. Do you want to get down with our hot and heavy history? Step out and fan out and shake it up. Shake it up. Step out and fan out and stank it up. Stank it up. Step out and fan out and shake it up. Shake it up. Step out and fan out and stank it up. Stank it up. 2 steps forward. 1 step back. 3 steps forward. 1 step back. 1 step forward. 4 hop back. Quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. A circle, a circle, a slide. A circle, a circle, a slide. 3 steps forward. 1, 2, 3. No steps back. 1 step forward. 8 steps back. Count 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 hops forward. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A circle, a circle, a slide. A circle, a circle, a slide.
Forward is where you wanna go, but it's not forward all the way. Sometimes when the going's getting good, there's a little market correction. This is how you do the history. This is how history moves. This is how you do the history. This is how history moves. This is how you do the history. This is how history moves.
I think we were very terrified to do this show. We really weren't sure what people were going to think.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's such a wild, surreal, abstract, poetic piece of theater. And Dustin, as our director, I think from the very beginning, he has such an ability to sort of be a fearless leader, but also to create a container in which everyone felt
able and safe to really reach for something and maybe to fall on our face in rehearsal. But by the end of the process, I sort of felt like Dustin could tell me to do anything. And if he thought it was right, I would do it.
Totally.
And I think that sort of trust is really rare. There are a lot of times where I feel sort of, because I'm scared, I feel suspicious of direction. And Dustin can tell me anything, and I'm like, that's exactly right. That's exactly what we have to do.
Yeah.
And so that spirit of trust, I think, informed the way that the play was developed.
Wow.
Dan is such a genius writer of music, and I think he wrote music that really suited all of the performers who were in the original, and it's such a relief to get to work on this music because it feels very custom made. And yeah, that's what I'll say to start.
Yeah. Jumping off of that, I when we were first starting to work on this, so often when you are cast in a play that's already been produced many times or something, it feels like you have so much expectation to live up to, that you are sort of by necessity compared to the other actors who have played the part. The production is compared to previous productions, what have you. So starting with something from the inception, there's an agency unlike anything else that each member of the company has. And I think when we first sat down to do this play, there was so much that none of us knew. We just knew that we were doing it. And that's such a sort of a thrilling way to start the work, is with the feeling of, I actually have no idea what this is going to look like, or if this is even going to be good. And so I always love working on a new play because it feels like I get to use myself and my own experience so much more than when I'm sort of slotted into a production, if that makes sense.
I think we kind of created a new type of piece with this. It's not a musical, but it's not an opera, but it lives somewhere in the middle. I think there's dialogue and there is music, but the music is not kind of numbers like you would associate. Some of them are actually, and that kind of adds to the surrealism, but some of them are more continuous plot developing, or just kind of like fantasias that just really move in more of an operatic way, even though the performers are not opera singers, and that's another thing. The other thing I do want to mention about this piece is that when we did it at Williamstown, all of the singers, most of them at least, all the performers, the actors, played instruments. So I wrote the orchestration for whoever we had playing whatever instrument they could. And so often they would be hopping into, we had 2 little orchestra pits carved out of the stage. And often they would be hopping into playing an instrument and then hopping up and doing a scene, going back and playing another instrument, doing a scene, playing an instrument on stage, which you'll actually hear Andrew, he plays the trumpet, and you'll hear him play that here as well. So it was kind of a mishmash, and I really love working that way, and I think it also gives me some constraints in terms of how to write the music so that it's not necessarily for professional musicians, but it's still an extremely artistic and satisfying work. I find that really invigorating to write with that in mind.
The beauty of doing something like this is that it's sort of, the work on it never really ends in a way. And so even this morning we were talking about, like, how do we start this play? And we've had that same conversation 5 years ago, and there's still, the answer is still somewhere in the air, or maybe it's not. But the joy of it is also that the work kind of never ends.
I mean, I guess I just add too, thinking about, is it a musical, is it an opera, is that something that we really work to do was, it does start off as a play. There's not a song per se in it until a good ways in. And then it is back and forth between music, spoken text, music, but as the piece goes on, the music begins to take over to where by the final act it is all sung through. So it is sort of a play that turns into an opera, and I think that sort of speaks to this sort of ticking clock that is occurring for the main character, because it is a play in essence about time. So by the end of the play, we know we've run out of time because time becomes more measured as the play goes on.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Or musical, or opera.
Or opera.
Or musical opera, theater.
Theater.
Operetta, opera, theater, musical.
For this iteration, it feels very much like an ensemble that is sort of making a theater piece rather than, you know, this is my role in the narrative and this is my role. There are a couple of times when it feels more set like that, but for the most part, we're just a bunch of weird thespians wearing many hats.
Your relationships, or
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Well,
we're good.
this is not our first play that we did together.
It's true.
It's our second.
Yeah.
We did an adaptation of, we did a Batman play.
Right.
Andrew played Batman, I played Catwoman at the Yale Cabaret.
Right. Sort of like a lost episode of the Adam West, Eartha Kitt, Batman, which is always so very fun. But we didn't really know each other all that well at all before doing this. And we often say that summer at Williamstown was a very difficult summer for many different reasons. It was beautiful and amazing, and the work was incredible. But at least for me personally, emotionally it was a difficult summer for me. I often was sitting there like, oh, is this worth being here? Is this worth doing? Is this worth feeling all of this? And then at the end of the day, getting to meet Juliana and her being sort of like a lifelong dear love of my life, I would go through that 100 times over.
Totally. And there's one song in the show that I remember after the summer we went to our respective parents' houses or whatever. Right. And we got back to New Haven for the school year, and I saw him, and like the music is just sort of it just plays in my head all of the time. But when I see Andrew sometimes, if I haven't seen him in a long time, I hear Dan playing the beginning of the song in my head, and I just automatically start crying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we really got to be friends through this play.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Is this a world premiere?
Yes.
Okay.
Written, might I say, this week.
From first word
to part of the music.
Yeah.
All right, so here's my question, see if this works. And we have a world premiere. New selections from an as yet untitled project, a grand opera in 3 parts featuring the world's most prized possession as its subject, the Sistine Chapel ceiling.
That's a bold statement.
What we're going to hear the opening of Act 3, which places us in kind of contemporary times with a Vatican tour guide as our narrator.
Act 3 is about the tourism, where you would have a tourist sometimes request to be the first in the chapel, so you'd have to line up in the line at 5:30 a.m. and run through the Vatican museums to be the first people in the chapel, so you experience it without the mass crowds. And so the song at the beginning of Act 3 is very fast, and it is about the tour guide running through the Vatican, trying to give a tour of everything in the Vatican as fast as possible, trying to beat, there was a Japanese tour company that went through the Vatican who ran. So you were kind of in competition to beat the other tour groups. So this is, and if somebody got lost, you just left them. You just left them behind.
And you'll hear someone in this very brief excerpt who is enraptured by her surroundings, and she just gets left behind, and so she just gets softer and softer as the tour keeps moving very quickly.
Blow my flag and remember this, that if you fall, you're left for dead. Remove your bags and belts and shoes and coins and pearls and rings and buy There's lunatics, you know, shot at the yard with loaded guns too many times before. It's for how come the Pieta is kept behind a plate of glass. That's why we have security. Now follow me. Now up this flight of stairs. Now right now up this flight of stairs. Now wait, 14 euros. That's the fee. Ready your money for Vatican entry. Just leave the change. No time to waste. 1 and 2 and you and you. No need to count. For if you fall, you're left for dead, 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 dead. We're going to get there first before the rest. And crane our necks to see the Sistine Chapel. Sistine Chapel. Excuse me. Sofito, Capella Sistina, Sistine Chapel. Ceiling, not 16, 16. So named for Sixtus, fourth of that name, not six. Pontificus Maximus. Do you see? Do you see? We've lost one already. Run, I say, find the ascensore. Perdonami, mi dispiace, closer, closer, nigher, sincromi, and shoulder così. Move it, lady. Now left, and as we run, I will deliver any detail at my disposal. And diaphragmatic support. Here we find to the left of the Cortile de la Pina, the divine pine cone shaped by the peacocks, genera insectivo, the primo Cristo, Hadrian's burial tomb, Vignola Bronzato, sculpture to the right, it's una sfera con un sfera, designed by Mr. Tomato, Arnaldo Palma